Right, Heather.
Yep.
We're having this little chat because God's been doing some incredible things in your life. To set the scene, this is 2009, and in June 2009, you would call yourself a resolute and confirmed atheist and hedonist. Is that right? And you've
Yep.
been living that life, and you were currently living with your boyfriend. But in June, stuff began to happen. Do you want to just give us a little taste of what was happening in June for you?
Well, I started coming to this church. I sort of like first went to sort of like please my father, who sort of went to this church. But I felt something was about these people that really sort of stirred me up, and the presence that I felt during worship in this church made me really second think about my own already made up opinions about God.
Yeah. So that began stirring things up for you. And then you came along to one of our newcomer desserts.
Yes.
And what happened there for you?
Well, I sensed a real sense of love and a real sense of warmth among people that made me feel quite unused to.
Yeah.
And I was really thinking, these people have something that I don't. They've got something special and precious within their hearts, and they're showing something that's a love that's quite selfless.
Yeah.
And I really thought, I want to be part of that. So I went back to the flat, and I saw I decided to talk to my then boyfriend about.
Yeah.
I said, I'm very seriously considering, becoming part of the church and following the way.
Yeah.
And I asked him, what do you think about that? And he says, well, I don't believe a God that you can't see by sight, and obviously if you decided to do that, then our relationship wouldn't work, so I'm going to stop you doing that.
Right.
And that was the first sign that I prayed for.
Right. So that happened, and so the next day you made a decision. And what was that decision?
My decision very, very dramatically struck me to leave, that this person was not what God wanted
Right.
me to be with.
And was that the time that you gave your life to Jesus?
Yes.
So you did that, and then you met up with some friends, some good friends that you had, and for some prayer.
Yeah.
And what happened there?
I felt that very much that there were certain ties between in my heart and my mind towards being with this person.
Yeah.
And these people decided to pray that link, that connection would be cut.
Yeah.
And I went through an experience where the Holy Spirit came through, like electricity through me.
Yeah.
And I had a presence. There was certain thing where there was something where the Lord struck right through me and poured this liquid love into me, where it springed up for me through like a fountain and completely replenished me and washed me clean. And the person that was next to me praying felt that saw a vision of me in a white dress as a young girl.
Yeah.
And there was a dark presence next to trying to draw me back.
Yeah.
But I was running on a straight path towards him.
Yeah. And so you went through this experience, and what did you feel at the end of that?
I felt completely revived, and the heaviness that was inside me had been completely lifted.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great example of really what we're talking about when Christ comes to live within us, transforming us. Now that was around July, I guess,
Yes.
by then. And how do you feel now? What's, in terms of your relationship with God and what's happening, where are you at now?
I feel much joy and a lot of love for everyone around me that I want to spread it out. But at the same time, I feel a real calmness and a real groundedness and a real thirst for his wisdom.
And is that different in terms of how you feel now from before you
Really
knew Jesus?
much feel. I've been in Brussels for the last 5 weeks and staying with a certain family that have taught me the importance of private obedience precedes public victory, of having that quiet time, of having communion with God, and really clearing my mind of all the preoccupations of everyday life, and hearing his and feeling his word.
Heather, thank you very much. I mean, having seen you before, and then come through this process, you know, I have to say you have looked completely transformed in it. I mean, it is a real encouragement, I think, to the rest of us. So thanks for sharing.